What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the July 5th, 2021 edition of Raw Talk. They kicked off the show, as always, with Kevin Patrick asking R-Truth about the 24/7 Championship, which was once again featured on this week's Raw. It was during the R-Truth Jackson Riker versus Elias and Cedric Alexander tag team match, or right before it started, actually. Truth ran off to chase the 24/7 championship to kind of take it back from Tozawa or something. Never ended up regaining it, leaving Riker to kind of fend for himself, and ended up beating Elias and Cedric Alexander all by himself because Elias walked off on Cedric, and Cedric got beaten like a move or two, which was incredibly stupid. But anyway, they waste time talking about the pointless 24/7 championship. Then Kevin Patrick gets into the New Day's big win at the end of the show that saw Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods knock off the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and MVP in tag team action. Patrick has Lashley winning at Money in the Bank, and once again, R-Truth throws him under the bus later on in the episode when they have Kofi on the show, and Truth tells him, well, this guy picked Bobby to win at the pay-per-view, not you. They did the exact same thing before Hell in a Cell with McIntyre and Lashley, and Patrick picked Lashley too, and he wasn't right. He wasn't wrong, rather. He wasn't wrong when he picked Lashley. Just leave the guy alone. They were picking on Kevin quite a bit on this episode for literally no reason. Some of his questions were questionable, were not the greatest, but overall he seems like a very likable guy, and a lot of people were giving him shit on this episode for literally no reason. He also recaps Jinder losing to McIntyre via disqualification and stealing his stealing Drew McIntyre's sword afterwards, so for whatever that's worth. The first guest they have on is the Raw Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, who admits to feeling good coming off her segment with Charlotte on Raw that saw her hit Charlotte with a crutch, and she enjoys living rent-free in her head. And Kevin goes, which was great, are you though? Are you really living rent-free in her head? And Rhea's getting really disrespected and really kind of fed up at this point, even early on in their interview. And Patrick brings up accurately, and he's not wrong, that Ripley has never beaten Charlotte in one-on-one competition before. And Rhea gets all flustered and pissed and threatens to slap him and all this other shit, telling me that she's a heel. But if she's the heel, then how is Charlotte also a heel in this feud? To me, I'm getting the impression WWE, and I've had this impression for a while, WWE has no fucking clue what they want Rhea Ripley to be. Is she a babyface? Is she a heel? Is she a tweener? She came across incredibly unlikable here on this episode of Raw Talk. She's not come across as likable on Raw itself in a while. So I have no fucking clue what she's supposed to be. And once again, she won't give away her game plan. And that was a dumb question from Kevin. Why would she give away her game plan on the show? And she says she has no idea whether Charlotte's watching or not. Kevin says that she's not because she has better things to do, like being royalty or something. And Charlotte, or rather Rhea, points out, why would you put yourself beneath Charlotte in saying that you're not worth her time, saying that your show isn't good enough for her to watch? You know what I mean? So I thought that was funny, but he wished her good luck. She said, your good luck means nothing to me, and then walked off. She was just, oh my God, she was bullying this guy, giving this guy a hard time left and right on this episode for whatever reason. So this pretty much established to me that Rhea is not the babyface in this feud, nor is Charlotte. Maybe we're the babyfaces because we're having to endure this shit. I have no idea. She also vows to beat Charlotte Flair before walking off as well. The second person they had on the show was Ricochet. Says that, although Morrison did win by countout on Raw, he didn't beat anyone. It was because of Miz that Morrison picked up the win. Had Miz not gotten in the way with his wheelchair, the match probably would have continued. He does reference, because he is in the Money in the Bank ladder match in a few weeks for the men, he does reference that he hopes that Brock won't get involved again like he did 2 years ago, because Ricochet was in that match too. He wasn't on the ladder and about to win the same way that Mustafa was, but Brock getting involved and being the 8th guy in the match did cost Ricochet the briefcase. You know whether Ali would have won or not, he probably would have in storyline, but Ricochet still blames Brock for that from 2 years ago, which I thought was great. He's excited, as we all are, for the Falls Count Anywhere match inside the Thunderdome, the last Raw inside the Thunderdome next week on Raw against John Morrison. I think it's a great way to kind of end the Thunderdome era. I don't think WWE will put together this grand video package like AEW did, which I thought was really well done. But to kind of go off with a bang, utilizing the entire arena when the fans still aren't there for a stipulation match like this with two guys like this, I think is really, really smart. And he just reiterates that he is going to do whatever it takes to become Mr. Money in the Bank. And he can't wait for fans to be back in 2 weeks. The last people they have here on the show are Kofi and Xavier the New Day. And of course, Kofi, as while answering Kevin's question, his win over MVP and tag team action on Monday's Raw is absolutely a sign of things to come, and that he is walking out of Money in the Bank as the new WWE champion. And that, or Xavier brought up rather, that MVP and Lashley were not smart to challenge. Because Kofi and Xavier, they admit, are good on their own. They're very good on their own. But as a tag team, they're one of the greatest of all time. And not only are they saying that, WWE said that as well in their own ranking of the whole tag team thing. What was it, on Peacock or the network or whatever? They were ranked the greatest tag team in WWE history the other week. And I don't really have much of an issue with it. It's a WWE list. You could debate all day long. Are they the best? Are they in the top 5? It doesn't even really matter. It's a WWE list. I have my own thoughts on it. It doesn't really, it's kind of irrelevant. But it's also not egregious either. It's not like they're putting the fucking Ascension in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? But either way, they said they were dumb. Why would you challenge one of the greatest tag teams of all time to a tag team match that you know you're going to lose? And Kingston even brought up that they were stupid, were MVP and Lashley, to cut out the tag team specialists from the Hurt Business. And he acknowledges that Cedric and Shelton, who actually beat New Day for the Raw tag team titles, and then they beat them for the tag team titles on Raw a couple months ago, that, they were the tag team specialists of the Hurt Business. Why would you cut out the tag team and then try to be a tag team yourselves? Now they're not even the Hurt Business anymore. Now they're like the startup business, which I thought was great when they said that, without Cedric and Shelton being there anymore. Now Cedric's on Raw fucking losing to Jackson Riker in 30 seconds. I mean, he's also unfortunately fallen far. MVP and Lashley have not. Shelton's not even on the show anymore, but it just kind of goes to show, why would you even bother breaking them up? It was a complete waste. But Woods acknowledges that Kofi is a former WWE champion. People should be taking him seriously. I guess Kofi broke the table last time he was on Raw Talk by standing on it, because they acknowledged that people kind of scolded them the last time they were on the show to not do that because it didn't end. I don't think they broke the table. I think he just bent the table. But they kind of joke about doing it again. And they can't wait for fans to come back in 2 weeks. Woods says they're going to feed off the fans. They're going to feel the fans. They get very weird with this whole thing. And they're going to consume the fans. They're going to eat the fans come the return of the road in a few weeks. So typical New Day shenanigans to end the episode. They're on the table. They're still dancing. Maybe not on the table, but on their chairs. Woods is showing off his Undisputed Era shorts. He's like, oh, look at my shorts. Look at my shorts. Get a zoom in. R.I.P., which I thought was great. Kind of probably a shout-out to Adam Cole, who was close with on Up, Up, Down, Down. But, yeah, decent stuff this week. Rhea was not likable at all. Ricochet had a fine segment, a bit of a better talking segment from him this week than usual. And the New Day were entertaining as always. Far from a must-see episode. Not one of the better ones I've ever seen. But it was solid for what it was. All the guests served the purpose in pushing their respective feuds forward and building towards Money in the Bank next Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content, including hitting the bell button to be notified every time a new video goes up. Just yesterday, actually, I had my interview with Eva Marie go live here on the channel, as the article went up on Bleacher Report on Monday morning. So check that out if you haven't already. We got hashtag AskGSM with myself and Alexis returning tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. That's really cool. WrestleRant radio excerpts on Thursdays. We do the low-key reviews on Fridays. We also are probably going to have a Black Widow review coming out sometime this weekend as well, so keep an eye out for that. At any rate, guys, have a great rest of your week. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.